What's good, everybody? My name is Gentleman Jugg.
And I'm Son.
And welcome back to the Gentleman Juggcast, episode 44. How you doing today, boy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, well, we got another one to talk about this week. And what movie is that, boy?
Superman 3.
Superman 3.
The acid trip.
You can call it an acid trip. I don't think you've ever been on acid before. So I don't know how you can say it's that, but not inaccurate. And I'm not sitting here saying that I'm speaking from experience that I've done acid, because I have not done acid. However, I've heard stories. So, allow me to indulge and do some things to keep the lights on. We do talk about other things on our Twitter, Gentleman Jugg. Also play games on YouTube, Gentleman Jugg on YouTube. Currently, I'm playing Horizon: The Forbidden West.
Is it forbidden?
That's what it says. It's on the title. I like the game. I liked the last one, so I like this one too. But I enjoy the hell out of it. So, but that's pretty much it. Plus, I also have an Instagram. It's also Gentleman Jugg. But we will talk about this movie, Superman 3, Superman Trace. It's time to get into this movie, boy. What's this movie's called?
Superman 3.
Superman 3. It's not quite a quest for peace.
We're getting there.
Okay. Now, I assume that this movie was originally planned to be a trilogy. I'm guessing. And I don't know. I'm guessing it was originally planned to be a trilogy. But I think after what we just watched, I think they decided that they had to make a fourth movie to take the place of the third one.
It was a quest.
It's a quest for trying to figure out what the fuck was that. I saw this movie before, and I don't remember. See, here's the thing. I'm watching this movie as a person who reviews movies now. I don't call myself an expert reviewer. I just, like to give my opinion on the superhero movies that I've watched. And we've given some good movie reviews and some bad movie reviews. That's just what reviewers do. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and say that every single podcast that we've ever made has been a knockout, but I think we're okay. This movie, I'm just going to warn you guys, we're about to get into some shit.
Some spoiler.
We spoil every single one of them, so there's nothing new there. I mean, if you want us to announce it, fine. Spoiler alert. But
spoiler alert. In case if you really care about Superman 3, here you go.
Yeah. So this movie starts off showing us a close-up of this character named Gus Gorman, played by Richard Pryor. I like Richard Pryor. He's a fantastic comedian. I've laughed at just about every single one of his specials that he's ever made. It's great. He's a great comedian, and I do miss him not being here. But what the fuck, Richard? Okay. So we get a close-up on Gus Gorman's face, and he's trying to get a job because, I guess he doesn't have one. So he's been unemployed, and he's been in and out of work, some places for 45 minutes from what they've been saying. 23 minutes another place, whatever. Okay. So, he gives a little bit of a tirade, and then he walks out, and he's leaving. As he's leaving, normally in the last two Superman movies, they would play the Superman theme, and it would go on for like 45 years of just playing his music as we sit there and look at the opening credits. This is not what happens in this movie. This is the third one, damn it. So in the third one, we get to see all kinds of crazy hijinks. Immediately, you see something like, like a bottle falling, and then it rolls into like a sewer line, which happens to blow up and set some penguin dolls that are walking around on fire. And then Clark Kent comes around the corner, sees the on fire penguin. He blows it out, sets it back on the ground. It walks into something else, which hits somebody, which shits on him or does something others. It's a Rube Goldberg of like a bunch of bullshit going on.
Goldberg?
That's what it's called, a Rube Goldberg. It's a trap that hits a trap that hits a trap that hits a trap that freaking solves the solution. And that's what this shit is.
It's next.
Yeah, it's next. And it's dumb. So there's a bank robbery. And there's a guy who's he's running from the bank. And this guy running from the bank ends up freaking shooting at the police. The police shoot back at this guy. They miss the bank robber. They hit a car. This car drives over a fire hydrant, and the fire hydrant gets stuck, or the car gets stuck on the fire hydrant. The fire hydrant that's losing all of its water pressure all of a sudden decides that it wants to flood the inside of the car. Okay? So the car is flooding. Okay. All right. This guy is going to drown
in the car.
In the car. Okay. He did not wake up that morning thinking that this was a possibility. Okay. So apparently nobody can freaking turn around, grab one of the bricks that happens to be on the ground, and freaking break the car window. No one can do anything. Clark Kent comes around the corner. And he could have just walked over there and just tapped on the glass and it would have broken, right?
Yeah.
Saved this guy's life.
Nah.
He's got
to do it in style.
Got to do it in style. So he goes into this photo booth, turns into Superman, and flies on top of the car, rips the freaking sunroof open, and pulls the guy out that way. And why did he do it this way?
Because he's Superman.
Had to take a few extra minutes of this guy drowning to do that.
Got to do it in style.
He's drowning.
Style.
It's style. Okay. Whatever.
He's not Superman if he can't do it in style.
Then more stupid shit happens. More of these freaking like little hijink things happen. Just over and over and over.
It's just dumb.
Okay. So finally, when they decided they've had enough of that shit going down, we find out that Gus has decided that he wants to try to go get this job at a company. I forget what the company's name is because it doesn't matter. It's not important. Not important at all.
Nope.
Okay. Turns out Gus is good at computers, I guess. One would think that if you're in the 80s with the burgeoning computer field going on, that you'd be first on the list and you'd have a legitimate job and you'd be doing good work working for a computer company.
No.
No, not Gus.
Not Gus.
Not Gus.
He's different.
Okay. So, he starts doing stuff, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, how are you doing this?" And he's like, "I don't know, man. It's magic." That's how he says it. He says it just like that.
I'm like, all right, Gus, all right.
Magic, okay, because people didn't know anything about computers then. So apparently, it was all just magic.
It was magic. He has powers.
Yeah. So Clark Kent shows up to the Daily Planet, and he gets told that he gets to go back to his hometown of Smallville to write a paper about whatever. Okay. If you don't know by now, Clark is played by Christopher Reeve, okay? And Lois Lane is there along with the whole thing, and she's being played by Margot Kidder, all right? Now, hopefully you like seeing Lois Lane, because this is the last time you're going to see her for the rest of the fucking movie. So probably the last scene.
So, if you were here for Lois Lane.
Yeah, for all you Lois Lane, Margot Kidder fans out there, get fucked. So, anyways.
Hope you like Lana.
Yeah, because you're going to get to see her a lot. So, we go back to Gus, and he's doing all these computer things, and he gets a big idea to take his computer and write a program that takes extra pennies and half pennies that corporations just have. Okay, and he puts them into a separate account for just him. Okay, how does he know how to do this? I don't know how he knows how to do this, but apparently he's just magic with computers, from what he says.
He's magic.
Okay, now look, I've seen the movie Office Space, and Office Space does the exact same thing, and the conclusion ends up to be the exact same thing that happens to them. Okay? In that movie, they did the exact same program, and they realized, oh shit, we got like $500,000 in our account. Well, this is exactly what happens to Gus. He gets a check the next day, and it's $80,000. He's like, all right, no problem. So, back to Clark Kent. He's on a bus with Jimmy Olsen, being played by Mark McClure. And
he gets more screen time than Lois Lane.
He gets a little bit more than Lois, just like a hair more. Okay, so they're going to Smallville because I guess Jimmy needs to get a picture of whatever Clark's getting an article written for.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bus stops, and Clark and Jimmy get off the bus because there's a chemical fire happening at this chemical plant. Okay, now why Clark and Jimmy got off the bus, I don't know. Whatever they were going to do, I guess Jimmy could take a picture of it or something.
Yeah.
And he gets off and he tells the bus driver, there's a cop talking to the bus driver, and then Jimmy tells Clark that he's going to go and sneak in to the chemical plant. And what does he do, boy?
He runs in front of the officer, and the officer looks at him.
Looking right at him. Quote, sneaking into a chemical plant that's on fire.
I mean, it worked. The officer didn't... No one stopped him. It worked.
Yeah, I guess so. He's the best espionage person there is.
They didn't even see him.
They were even though he was his head turned and looked at him run into this place. He ran right in front of him.
He's like, must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind. I don't know. He must have been he was white, so obviously it wasn't. I can't see him do any crime. Whatever. So, anyway, Superman springs into action. It looks okay, I guess. Superman's doing Superman things.
I mean, there's a whole fire going on, and
he could just what was the power you said he could use?
Super breath.
Yeah, just.
It's funny. It's like we're watching this scene, and he's like trying to help all these people, doing all this extra stuff to get people, and I'm just screaming at the screen, "Super breath, man! Come on, super breath!" And he's like, "You know what? I'll make this little slide here for these people to come down. I'll help them walk through the fire." And it's like the guys are like, "Put out the fire, Superman." He's like, "Hang on, guys. There's no water here."
Yeah, the reason why there's no water is because while the fire department is blasting water at the place, some fire manages to get to the water station and blows it the fuck up.
Yeah.
So, they're like, oh my gosh, there's no water. Well, a scientist that Superman just happens to walk into on this building, he's like, hey, dude, you got to get out of here. Dude's like, no, I'm not leaving. And he's like, why? He's like, you see that acid over there? If it gets to this temperature, it's gonna vaporize and explode. Okay, fine. So, what do I got to do? Well, you got to put the fire out. You got the means.
Super breath.
So, Superman says, I do got the means. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to freaking go and fly to the lake that's only 5 miles in another direction, freeze the top of the lake, pick it up, the frozen part of the lake, and carry it all the way back to the fire. And then just drop it. And seeing as how this ice paint is like, I don't know, maybe hundreds of tons. Maybe even thousands of tons. I would go with that.
Yeah, it won't crush anybody.
It won't crush anybody or anything. Not even the building he dropped it on.
It's like, it'll melt before it gets there.
Which is exactly what it did. It turned into rain.
Like, you didn't have to do that. You could have just used that ice breath you used to freeze the lake on the fire. But that's too much, I guess.
What the hell? Okay?
It's like, if you're Superman, like in this movie, you gotta do it in style.
You gotta. There's no other way
to be Superman.
To do it. Okay? In the commotion, Jimmy Olsen is on top of a fireman's ladder, and he falls off the fucking ladder. He breaks his leg.
It's just funny, is that he's like, help me, somebody. And Superman's walking. He's like, Superman, help me. And he's just walking slowly.
Just walks.
He's like, yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah, I'll get there. Don't you worry, dude. I got you.
He's just like, I'll get there when I get there.
Yeah. Whatever. So,
Does he just hate Jimmy Olsen?
I hate Jimmy Olsen. Okay?
Superman's like, I guess I'll save you, I guess.
Yeah, so once the fire's out, they just immediately cut to Smallville. Okay? And there's a reunion, and I'm wondering, why is Clark here, boy?
I don't know.
I mean, according to Superman 1, the movie that we reviewed, I want to say a little over a month ago, Clark Kent, after his dad died, he just left. He dropped out of school, as far as I can tell, and went to go make his Fortress of Solitude, where he stayed for 10 years. He did not graduate at Smallville High.
Yeah, he spent Smallville in the Fortress.
Yeah, he spent the rest of his high school years in the Fortress. I'm like, well, what the hell was that? So, according to the people at Smallville, he just went missing. Right? And here he is now. Where the fuck did you go? Oh, I had to get out. I had to leave. So whatever. So we meet Lana Lang being played by Annette O'Toole. And she says just really quickly, hey, you had to leave when your mom freaking died. Or you came back when your mom died, right? Just in passing. No big deal. Big old moment when Martha just freaking dies and we don't even know anything about it.
Everyone's like, yeah, that happened.
Yeah, your mom died. Your mom just died.
He's like, yeah.
Whatever. So Lana, for whatever reason, is running this high school reunion.
Why not?
And, yeah, being a busybody, and Clark is acting goofy as hell here for no freaking reason. I don't know what his problem is. Like, the music is slow, and he's sitting there freaking just dancing fast.
He's like, oh.
Do that sound again?
Yeah. My favorite thing about Clark Kent in these movies is that I just laugh every time he stumbles or falls. He'll trip like, oh.
Yeah, I understand he has to not be an unassuming man. I get it. But he doesn't have to be fucking goofy.
So stupid.
He doesn't have to be goofy.
He'll be carrying something. Whoa! Stop. It's like, can't stop laughing. Stop.
Like, when Clark Kent is not being super goofy, I like him. He's fine. But when he's sitting there freaking just falling all over the place, trying to make people think that he's
just stupid.
Yeah, I'm just like, you're doing it too hard, man. I mean, I would think that anybody who's freaking trying to hide something would not sit there and freaking be this damn goofy.
It's like, I mean, when you're being this goofy, it's like, all right, you're hiding something now.
Something is going on, dude. Lois figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay, in the last movie. But whatever, okay.
But he erased her memory.
Yeah. So, back to Gus. As predicted, the company figured out $85,000 is missing. I just what do we do? They're trying to figure it out, and we meet the CEO, I guess he's the CEO of this company. His name is Ross Webster, being played by this guy named Robert Vaughn. We also meet his sister, Vera, who's being played by this woman named Ann Ross, and the hot chick of this movie being played by Pamela Stevenson. She's playing Lorelai. And he says that he said directly, the person who stole our $85,000 will not do anything stupid unless they are stupid. And then we see Gus driving a Ferrari to work. Yeah. And didn't even park in a parking space. Just parked right in the middle of the fucking street. That's it.
He's like, I got all this money. I own the street now.
Yeah. I bought a Ferrari for $80,000 or whatever. So, back in Smallville, Clark Kent is meeting with the all-state bowling champ, Brad, being played by Gavin O'Hurley. And Brad is a piece of shit. So, Superman shows everyone that he might be Superman by helping Lana Lang's kid, Ricky Lang, freaking learn how to bowl. And how does he help Ricky bowl, boy?
He sneezes.
Ricky is throwing the ball down the aisle. Superman sneezes, and the ball rockets into the bowling pins, causing them to explode.
He's like, oh, chew.
Yeah, And then the freaking, of course, everybody should be looking at Ricky like, how the hell did you do that? Can you do that again? Nothing. It's just one of those little looks at the camera like, whoop, well.
They're just like, oh, it's a thing that happens.
And we move on. That's what we do. We just move on.
No one cares.
Okay, so this movie is fucking goofy, boy. We go back to Gus, and the big boss wants to see him. Why doesn't Gus just fucking leave? For all we know, for all he knows, he could be going to jail, right?
Yeah.
So, but no, he just goes anyways, and
he's not scared.
Yeah, Webster ends up bullying him into making a plan to work with a specific satellite to target the country Colombia, so that they will give him power over their coffee. I guess that's what the plan is. Okay, so he can have coffee profits.
Yeah.
I don't know what Webster's business is, but I guess coffee profits are a big part of it. So they send Gus to Smallville. Lana and Clark are also in Smallville, and they go on a picnic when a dog starts screaming because Ricky Lang has been knocked out and about to get killed by farming equipment. Superman springs into action.
Dun da 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 da.
Da da da. And he saves Ricky. And I don't know what's happening here. Okay? I don't even really know what's going down here in this movie. Okay?
It's just
it's like scene. Like, what in the hell is going on here? So Gus goes to this building in Smallville at night, and he sees Brad there, who's a security guard.
Now this is a scene.
Yeah. So he gets Brad drunk, and he starts manipulating computer systems there. Now, at the same time, Gus is also drunk. Okay?
It's just
not as drunk as Brad. Brad is drunk enough to where he's passed out now. Okay? And so Gus, this scene is supposed to be funny. It's just not funny. It's more like, what the fuck is going on? This is working because Gus has now decided he can hack into this government satellite
while drunk.
And he freaking, which the satellite apparently can control the weather.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? And he did this all while drunk. I mean, this guy Gus is incredible.
This man's overpowered.
He freaking activated a government satellite over the burgeoning internet while drunk and took out a country. He's
too powerful.
He's too strong, right?
Like, this guy's stronger than Superman.
He might as well be. And while this is going on, he has to do a couple of other test plans. So he starts freaking affecting an ATM machine. A guy keeps getting money out of it. He then ends up doing the craziest fucking thing, boy. He starts messing with traffic in, I guess, Metropolis.
Yeah.
And then the stupidest thing happens. He's like turning it off, turning it on, turning it off, on. And then all of a sudden the traffic symbols of like the little men from that time period, they used to be like a guy walking and then another one be a hand. Well, at the time, this is when I was growing up, but at this time, it was, a red guy stopping and a green guy walking. Well, the green guy decides to climb up to where the red guy is and beats his ass. I'm sitting next to you looking at the screen. You're like, what is going on here?
I was like, what is this?
What is happening here?
It's like, I don't remember this.
Like, how did I miss this? I don't know how I missed this.
Like, did I watch a different movie?
I don't know, man. So, whatever. As this is going on, it doesn't stop. As this is going on, we cut to Webster sitting there laughing at this on a ski slope. And he says, turn that TV up. I want to hear it some more. And then he freaking he like skis down the freaking ski slope. Turns out that the ski slope is at the very top of his skyscraper.
Like, Lex Luthor got a little swimming pool and a little mansion in the sewer, but this guy's got a ski slope on a skyscraper.
This guy he's better than you. That's what it is. I have a skyscraper on freaking Metropolis on like a tall building in Metropolis. I have a skyscraper and I have a freaking ski slope up there. Superman, where you been at? All right, my skyscraper's been up here forever
with a ski slope.
You ain't never seen this. Like, you ain't never seen this.
If I was Superman, I like see this and like stop by and be like, what is going on?
What the hell is that? Not one time.
He's like, it's normal.
He's like, I'm better than you, Superman. Okay, I have a ski slope on top of my skyscraper. I'm better than you.
It's like Superman's never stopped by and just like, what is this?
Well, I gotta meet the people who run this. I gotta meet them.
It's like I gotta meet the guy responsible.
I gotta know who is this Webster.
Like, this guy's worse than Luthor.
So Gus shows up at the ski resort on top of this skyscraper, and he's talking about, hey, look, man, none of this shit was my fault, man, all right? I didn't know Superman was going to freaking go and save Columbia from the weather disaster that was happening there.
And what's funny is that he starts talking about Superman and, like, saying, oh, yeah, he uses X-ray vision. And he's like,
how do you know that? How do you know maybe you know he has it, but how do you know he used it?
And then he starts putting a towel on and acts like a cape or something. He starts singing Superman's theme. He's like, yeah, and Superman flew and was like, dun, 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 dun. I'm like, what?
You know the song? How do you know the song?
He's too powerful.
He knows everything. Okay? He's like, man, Superman did all this shit. Everything was all wet, and then he used his heat vision and made it dry in seconds, man.
Then he turned this tornado upside down.
I know, he took this tornado, man, he flew to it, he turned it upside down, and then we see him actually turn the tornado upside down, and you're like, what? What? Okay. All right, so he basically made it a hurricane, I guess. I don't know. But whatever,
Why not?
Yeah. And it just feels like Gus is, like, Richard Pryor's just making shit up. And then they're just like,
we'll animate
it. We'll make this. We'll make him do that. And they did it.
They just made it. They made a tornado and had him turn it upside down.
I can't believe I saw that. I didn't think I was going to see that. I've seen this movie before. I don't remember this shit. This can't be
the same movie I watched.
It can't be. I don't know. What did I watch? Whatever. So, anyways, they decided they're going to go ahead and make some kryptonite. I mean, look.
And then there's the thing where Gus is on the skis.
Oh, yeah, that hadn't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They were going to they were talking about that they were going to make kryptonite. Mm-hmm. And, Gus is like, let's make some kryptonite then, because they just going to do it. While this was happening, they're like, hey, Gus, why don't you go make some kryptonite? And he's like, hey, man, you know what? I'm getting sick and tired of you motherfuckers telling me what to do, man. Y'all need to go ahead and freaking do something for me. And they're like, what do you want me to do? He's like, man, I can't ski. And for some reason, Gus is skiing on the slope, and he realizes he can't ski, and he flies off the building.
And, like, he's dead.
He's dead. He's fallen, and then he freaking lands on, like, on an edge that slides down, and then on the ground.
And he's fine.
He's fine.
Not even the skis are fine. He's like, he landed perfectly on his feet, and nothing's broken. He's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. Gus is stronger than Superman here.
It's like, Superman can't do this.
This movie is incredible. All it does is just go from situation to situation to situation of just like, what the fuck to what the fuck to what the fuck. That's what this does.
See, like, Gus is like, you may be Superman and Webster, you may have a ski slope on top of a skyscraper, but I went down the ski slope on top of a skyscraper and then skied down a skyscraper and then landed on the ground perfectly.
Yeah.
It's like, so I'm better than both of you.
I'm better than both of you. I'm better. Okay? So, at some point in time, in this movie, like right after this scene, I guess Gus figures out how to make kryptonite.
Yeah.
And he just makes it. He puts in some stuff, and then it goes to the lab, and then the lab makes kryptonite.
He's better than you.
Yeah, just makes it. Now, the unknown ingredient, we don't know what the unknown ingredient is.
He just it's probably tar.
Yeah, he just put cigarette tar, and he just freaking, and they made it. It came out green, but it wasn't glowing. So, We go back to Clark. Lana is calling Clark because she needs Superman to come to a birthday party. And Superman says, yeah, sure, I'll go ahead and freaking just waste my powers, to go to a birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, this was a teachable moment to be like, yo, you need to fucking tell your kid, hey, he needs to stop fucking being a little piece of shit. Just teachable moment. Hey, sometimes you don't get what you want. Right?
Yeah, but no.
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 So, look. He goes out to this party, and, it turns out that it's like a freaking, like a citywide party in Smallville. And, when this happens, freaking Gus shows up with this bootleg kryptonite, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? He's dressed up as like a general, and he gives Superman the kryptonite as like a thank you, and then nothing happens. Later on that day, Superman is at Lana's house just hanging out. He had lunch at her house or something like that.
Why not?
Yeah, he begins to change. He starts having the symptoms of red kryptonite.
Sure, they could have made it red.
He starts hitting on Lana.
It just gets weird.
Yeah, and it starts getting weird, and a disaster happens. Superman is like upset because he got there late. So he then gets pissed off like immediately and goes to Italy and straightens the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And he flips off the people as he's flying away. It looks like he's flipping them off.
Yeah. And that guy's like, you go away, Superman.
Yeah. So I guess Superman is heel now.
Heel turn.
He turned heel. There's a guy running to the Olympic Games to freaking put a torch in. This is just a random shit. Like okay.
It's just random scenes.
He just blows the torch out.
He's like,
and he flies away. So, we get back to Gus. And he's got this plan going where like he's like, look, I wanna stop all the oil so I can run the oil. I'm like, again, Gus, what does your company do? Okay? What does your company do?
He's like, we put ski slopes on top of skyscrapers.
We do everything, okay? So we are going to here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and put all the ships that have oil in them in the middle of the ocean, and then we're gonna go ahead and freaking turn off all the oil pumps so that way we can make money somehow. I don't know how stopping everything will make you money, but I guess it will. Mm-hmm. But whatever. So Gus says, no. I'm not doing that until I get something that I want. Well, what do you want? Oh, I want a machine that can counter everything that anybody can do and to it.
Like,
okay, well, I mean, so you want a machine for Superman. Because, like, if somebody shoots at the machine shoots back at them, right?
Yeah.
Or shoots fire, because everybody's weakness is fire. So.
Except Superman.
Yeah, except for Superman, So you built a machine for Superman. So, whatever. All this happens, and then, we start seeing heel Superman doing more heel Superman things. Superman, what in the fuck is this movie? Seriously.
I don't know why, but whenever movies like make the good guy turn heel for a minute, it's so, I don't know why, but it's always stupid.
It's cringe, and it's uncomfortable, and it's stupid. And that's what this is.
And it just makes me laugh. I'm like, I just can't, I don't know how to process this.
Look, we're starting to get into, like, the third act here. So, Superman meets Lorelei on top of the Statue of Liberty, and she asks him to destroy an oil tanker for sex, and he does this. He goes back to the freaking ski slope, building, skyscraper, and he has sex with her, I guess.
I'm like,
he does this.
I'm like,
so,
okay.
Later, he's in a bar drinking, and he's breaking beer bottles with peanuts. Then he walks out of the building. He's like, what are you looking at? Like a drunk.
He sounds like a heel, too.
Like a drunk, and he just flies off all drunkenly.
And the guy's like, Superman, come back! Superman, you're supposed to be the good guy.
Yeah, so Superman goes to a scrapyard and starts screaming, and he just splits into two people, Clark Kent and heel Superman, and they fight.
He pulled a commie.
And freaking just split into two people, and they started fighting. And it's a weird fight. It's Superman throwing Clark into a trash compactor, and then Clark throwing Superman into acid that's just sitting in the middle of the ground. You know, why not?
I just think it's funny how Clark Kent gets with acid and he's like, I'll just take my jacket off.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll take my jacket off. I got this. It's no big deal. So the fight ends with freaking Superman, heel Superman, picking up Clark, throwing him onto a trash compactor, and turning it on. And then Clark bursts out of the trash compactor and strangles Superman to death.
I just think it's funny. He bursts out like the Kool-Aid man. Oh, yeah.
And then strangles him to death. Okay? You watch this scene. Clark Kent strangle Superman to death.
It's like, and the whole time while we're watching this, we're like, does Superman secretly hate Clark Kent? Because, like, he's just beating him up and taunting him. He's like, what's up, chicken boy?
What's up, bitch? What's up, bitch? All that shit you was talking? What's up, bitch?
It's like the real heel.
Like, damn, man. Did you really hate Clark that bad? What the hell's going on here?
He just hates him.
I don't know, man, but he just did it, you know, so
Clark strangled him.
To death. And then once that face Superman comes out and his costume's all bright and blue and red and everything like that, and he goes off and starts saving the day again, fixing all the shit he broke, even though it was him who did it. They're like, thanks, Superman. Is like, yeah, you're welcome. Like, you did it, you stupid son of a bitch.
It's like, remember
when you blew that shit up? So, I don't know why Superman goes to Webster's skyscraper with the ski lodge on top of it. I don't know why he does that, but...
Maybe he was looking for the other girl.
He goes there, and they tell him to go to the Grand Canyon.
It's like, yeah, follow us.
We're at the Grand Canyon, okay? So he goes to the Grand Canyon. And then, on his way, the supercomputer attacks him, and... So they start shooting missiles at him, and then you start seeing that they can see Superman with NES graphics. You're like, all right, 8-bit graphics, no problem. Like, what the fuck?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, so this super missile comes at him, and it hits him, and he's fine.
But he's Superman.
Yeah, he's fine. You know, I'm like, whatever. You know, so finally they get to the cave where Superman is, and he's got this supercomputer that he has to fight, and the supercomputer is like active and everything like that because, you know, Webster and the rest of his goons freaking got it up and running, and Lorelei looks at him, she's like, hey, Superman, remember me? Because he slept with her.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I don't know you, man. That was some other guy. So
that was some guy strangled to death.
That's some other guy. He's gone. You know? He's gone. He's out. You know, so...
And he looks like Webster. He's like, Webster,
I'm going to get you. Yeah. So the supercomputer hits him with, like, a bubble.
Yeah.
I think it's a bubble. It looks like a giant, like, invisible eyeball.
It looks hilarious.
It's outrageous. And he's just in it just fucking around.
And then when he breaks free, I like how Webster's like, he's free. He's coming to get me.
He's coming to get me. He is coming to get you, bitch. So, I don't know. The computer decides to hit him with a kryptonite beam because I guess they figured out what the unknown was. What's the unknown, boy?
It's unknown.
That's exactly right. We have no clue what it is.
But the computer does.
Apparently it does, and it starts hitting him with a kryptonite beam that's killing him. It's killing him, boy!
So they said, it's killing him!
Yeah. Well, Gus happens to show up, and he's like, oh, snap, Superman's dying! And he goes into this freaking thing and takes a screw out, and it turns the beam off. Well, I guess the machine wants to live.
That's what he said.
Because it became self-aware, you know? And it decided to freaking, you know, take over people. So Superman, he leaves. I'm out.
It's like, they're screaming, help us, Superman. And he's like, bye.
Peace. You know, he just left. And so Vera's like, I gotta get out of here. And the machine grabs her and sucks her into the machine and turns her into a machine. And this is, they completely have jumped the shark, boy. What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, and all of a sudden it's like just it's weird.
It gets weird, and it's about to get weirder. So Superman comes back, like I guess he left, and he like physically left and came back, and he fights the machine, and it tries to eat him too. But Superman has gotten some acid. You know that acid from the very beginning of the movie?
It's boiling acid.
Yeah, he went and got that shit and brought it back, and this kills the computer.
And it blows up.
And it blows up. It blows right the hell up.
I mean, everyone survives, but it blows up.
Are you sure they survived, Jalen? Because he just left them there. He just left them there. As far as he never went back for them. As far as I'm concerned, they're dead.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gus, who happened to also be there, he picks him up and he flies him to a coal mining facility. And he's like, "Hey man, look, can you give my boy Gus a job?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll give him a job, Superman." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
I'm like, this guy.
What? This guy is responsible for everything.
He's like, "Can you give him a job though?"
Give him a job, Del, man. You know.
It's like Superman knows not to mess with this guy.
He's like, "Yeah, we got a computer. He could work on it." You're like, "Okay."
And Gus says, "I don't want the job."
Yeah, I don't want it. But then before Superman leaves, he freaking gets a piece of coal and crushes it into a diamond.
Why not?
Yeah, you know, and I'm like, okay, so now you're stealing, Superman. Now you're stealing. You've stolen a diamond.
Not quite all face.
Yeah, not quite. You know, so
There's a little heel in him.
I know, right? So Clark goes to Lana. Clark, not Superman. Clark goes to Lana, and he gives her a diamond ring. Hey, I got this for you. Or Superman got this for you. Really, he got this for her. You know, and, you know, she's like, "Oh, thank you." And he happens to be on his knees. He's not proposing to her. He just happens to be on his knees when he's giving this to her. And Brad, for whatever reason, barges into their hotel room.
He's just there.
And he's like, "Hey, man, I hate you, man, because you're so nice. That's what I hate about you. You're too nice." And so, I don't know, Superman freaking throws him into an elevator.
And no one questions it.
No one says anything. It's just, "Oh, Brad."
Brad.
It just happened to you. You know, so while this happens, you know, we go back to the planet. Lois shows up again.
Oh, she's in this movie.
She's in this movie, yeah, right? And so Clark is saying something to Lois about something. Lois is saying something to Clark about something, and then Lois is like, "Hey, Clark, do you want to do this fucking thing?" And he's like, "No, I'm gonna take the boss's new secretary out for a date." And she's like, "What?" You know, all that friend zone bullshit all of a sudden comes back to bite her in the ass, right?
Yep.
And it's Lana. And you know what, Lois? Lana's better than you.
I kind of wish she would have said that.
I wish she would have said it too. It's like, "Why are you taking out Lana? Look at the ring that she gave me. Look at the ring that Clark gave me. You gave her that ring? Oh, yeah. You know why? Because she's better than you." I was throwing dick at you all day, forever, and you just kept putting me in the friend zone. But you know who didn't? Lana. You know why? Because she's better than you. Anyways, I don't know. One more stupid little joke. Superman goes and re-leans the Tower of Pisa, so...
And this time he doesn't flip them off.
Yeah, he just waves by. Look, all right.
All right, that was a good movie.
The movie is over. What the hell was that?
It was something.
Oh my god. That movie was a bit much.
Maybe not enough.
It is like 2.5 hours long, this movie. And it was just all bullshit. I don't know what to tell you. What would you give this movie?
My problem with this movie is that I think it got to a point, like, somewhere in the middle where Superman turned evil, where it's so bad that it's just kind of good.
You started liking it, huh?
I'm like, it's so bad, it's good.
You're like, what is happening? I mean, look, I felt that things were going nuts when this movie started, when those two freaking stop signs, or not stop signs, those crosswalk signs started fighting each other.
I'm like, when I saw that, I'm like, this movie is just so bad, but it's just good now.
It just got weird all of a sudden.
It's good.
Like, it was shitty before, and I was hating on it, and then that happened. I'm like,
I'm in.
That turned me around.
I'm like, it's like, I don't know what to give this.
I don't know what else to do about that.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm giving it the highest 2 possible. I hated this movie, but I was just like, it just, I got into it.
I think I'll go with the 2 as well. I can't like, I want to hate it, but I just can't. It's just too good. It's just too much. I just can't hate it.
I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know. This movie is worth the watch if you freaking, are high or drunk or you just want to shit on something for a while.
Or you want to laugh.
It gets wild to a point where you're like, what is happening here? What is going on in this movie?
I mean, if anything, it's like, I thought Superman 2 was a trip. I watched this and I'm like, you know what? This is the real trip.
This is the trip. I haven't seen Superman 4: Quest for Peace in like 20 years, so
But can it beat the bar that this one set?
Well, we'll have to see because the next movie will be another weird one. And we'll talk about that one here real soon because that one will be available
when it's ready.